Pittsburgh Penguin Hockey is brought to you by Iron City Beer, working on a cold iron. By Giant Eagle, where there's a lot you can feel good about. By the Appliance Store, where customer satisfaction is always our first concern. And by Norwegian Cruise Line, with the best activities afloat. Only one goal in that second period again, as the Penguins have a 2-0 lead. Ronnie Francis with good hard work from behind the net, setting up Joe Mullen. And Joey drilled his 5th of the year, Paul, to give the Penguins a 2-0 lead. Watch Stevens in front there. I didn't see that play. He was really whacking over one of the Bruin defensemen. That was Don Sweeney. Stevens helped make that goal, too, because he took Sweeney out of the action right in front. Boy, he's been an awesome figure in this series, as he has in the playoffs, Kevin Stevens.
Great work by Ronnie Francis. You know, Dave Christian just could not pin him against the wall. And Francis is very good in tight against the boards and controlling that puck, coming out of the corner with the control of the biscuit. And there was no way that Christian could slow him down. He got position on him and came around the net and set up Joey Mullen.
Well, the Bruins begin the third period with a power play for 1 minute and 8 seconds. Alf Samuelsson, the penalty box for the Penguins. And the Penguins win a draw. And they pull it back into their own end, and it'll be Taglianetti shooting it up to the Bruins line. Ray Bourque takes command of it. Whistle it up into the Penguins end. Taglianetti back to play the puck for the Penguins. Around the boards, but not out. Ray Bourque hit by Randy Gillett. Now one of the Bruins knocked down in front of was Ruzicka. Move behind the net. Taglianetti can't find the handle on it, but the Penguins will get it to Joe Mullen. And Mullen takes the heat out of a hot kitchen as he shoots it up into the Bruins zone.
Cam Neely has no shots in this game. He's out here on the power play, and this is a big, big chance for the Bruins to get life.
Neely again racing to the Penguins end. Cut around a man. Gordy Rivers centers it back in front. Man there. Here's a shot by Janney, and a big save by Barrasso there. Big save by Tom Barrasso on Craig Janney early in this third period. Mo came way out of that to play it by Lemieux, and here come the Bruins storming back into the Penguins end. Pass to Ray Bourque. Pinned on a shot, and it comes to Taglianetti off to Lemieux, and he'll clear. 10 seconds to go in the Penguin penalty. And Ray Bourque will wrist it up behind the Penguin net. Barrasso coming up with a key save on Janney in this third period. Early on, Lemieux spins it out of danger again. The penalty is over, and Samuelsson comes on. Bruins back to take command of the puck, and Ray Bourque will shoot it right to the Penguin net from long range. Barrasso getting the puck over to Ron Francis. Penguins trying to even this series up at 2 games apiece. Down the left wing comes Francis against Galley. Sends it over to Stevens. Shoots it at the post to the left of Andy Moog. Stevens had the shot there. Stevens was knocked down. Francis behind the net. Ronnie Francis wheeling deal. He's playing well tonight, Francis. It comes off the right point to Paul Stanton. Banking into the corner for Mark Recchi, and the Penguins trying to beat Alan Peterson. When he can't do that, and Jeff Lazaro turns that puck back to center. Francis again with the puck, and he shoots it in, and Recchi goes after it. Oh, wheeled it away from him, but Recchi's going to go to the far boards to take it. Back it in behind the net. Over to Kevin Stevens, centers it. Nobody there. Trottier had just come on. He runs into Bob Sweeney. Knocks him flying, but the Bruins take control of it. First 9 to the Penguins in. Pittsburgh leading 2-0 here in the third. Nyland turns around, holding the puck left wing boards. But Murphy got a piece of it, so did Trottier, and here come the Penguins back. But Recchi might be out of gas. It comes to him. He'll shoot it up ice and go to the bench. Ray Bourque right back on for the Bruins, paired with Bob Beers. Bourque took a brief rest on the bench. Yager put the stick in and knocked the puck away from him. Bob Beers wheeled it up to center, but the Penguins are right there, and Gordy Roberts delivers it back into the Bruins zone. And Ray Bourque with 2.5 gone here in the third. Pittsburgh leading 2-0. Outlet pass left wing to Levin Marquardt of Boston. He'll come to the Penguin stripe, and he'll shoot it in. Phil Bourque of the Penguins going in against Peter Duras from right behind the Pittsburgh goal. They jam it, and they'll hold it right there. 17-11 to go in the third. 2-0 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one
Before our children can carry on our most fundamental values, they must first understand them. And at Mellon, we can't think of a better reason to support education.
The 35s are battling again here tonight. A lot more work for Andy Moog, but Tom Barrasso made a key save on that Bruins power play. You knew they were going to get at least one good opportunity, and Craig Janney was right in front with that opportunity. Barrasso read the play very well, unbalanced, came down and slid across that butterfly style on that particular move and made the save on Janney.
Christian now to the right point. It goes to Wesley. And he'll drop it in behind the Penguin cage. And Taglianetti of Pittsburgh moved it around, intended for Scott Young. He is hit, but the puck coming free to Brian Trottier. Trottier, Bork, and Scott Young out here now. They shoot it into Boston ice. Wesley put it at the boards, right to Scott Young. Shoots it, and he missed the net. Around the boards it comes, and Karams right back to center ice in the neutral zone. Grant Jennings, the Penguin defenseman, gave it away to Dave Christian. Back to the Penguins in. Slap shot, stopped by Barrasso. And he got a blocking glove, I believe, up for his shoulder, made the save, and then pounced on the rebound.
Well, Dave Christian obviously likes to let that shot go high in the offensive zone when he gets that puck across the blue line on that right side. I think he's most dangerous when he's on that off wing. And he's got that whole net to look at. He's a sniper with one-timing shots on the far side, but Barrasso reading him very well, coming way out to take the angle away from Christian, almost as if he knew that Christian was going to let that shot go.
I really think Game 3, Tommy might not tell you this, but this is my own feeling, was a great big confidence builder for Tom Barrasso again after the Bruins had won games 1 and 2 at Boston, 6-3 and 5-4, and Tommy came back and shut them down, and he's played to carry them right over here to Game 4. He has been very solid for the Penguins overall in the playoffs. And here's the face-off, won by the Penguins again. Gordy Roberts moving to the left of the net. Outlet to Murphy and on ahead down to Randy Gillen. He avoided a check by Cam Neely. Gillen to the Bruins in and to Lemieux when he tried to feed it back to Gillen. Couldn't get it through. Neely, you can see, Paul, he's only about 75% if that. He just doesn't have the jump in his legs right now, Cam Neely.
That was another case, Mike, of Lemieux not lifting that puck on the passes to Randy Gillen when he had the chance. He's done that a few times tonight.
Don Sweeney slams it back into the Penguins in. Cam Neely comes up with it. He fell down as he tried to turn and shoot it. Could not do it. Recchi up the far boards. And drop back to Ruzicka. Now to Cam Neely. Again, he just doesn't have the ability to get over and get to that puck the way he normally would. He is very good when he gets the puck in that slot area and or circles. And he's able to get out of traffic, but he's not able to do it right now. He's just bothered too much by the injury that he has. And we're not quite sure if it's a leg or a hip or what it is, but it's pretty obvious he's not. Here is Wesley now breaking to the Penguins in, comes down, center in front, shot, missed the net. As they had an opportunity from in front, Ruzicka couldn't find it. They put it in front, shot right on by Neely, save made Barrasso. And the rebound, there is no rebound.
That shot hit Barrasso up high.
Lemieux and Burridge jockeying around in front of the Penguin net, but a good save by Barrasso on Cam Neely. 2-0 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Back when America went outside to beat the heat, one man was making it better inside. Willis Carrier invented air conditioning. He changed summer thrillers to chillers and turned business brisk. Year after year, since 1902, Carrier has been making it better inside.
Wouldn't you guys like to play outside?
Carrier. We're the inside guys. Call us.
Barrasso flopping to his right side appeared to be in some pain as he got himself back up to his skates. He took that first shot up high, up like underneath the mask, high on the chest. And then the puck came back to him, and he had to flop to his right to make the save. Action around that Penguins net. Rosie Ruzicka with a couple of great scoring opportunities. Number 38 of the Bruins.
And then Cam Neely from right in front, denied by Barrasso. 15:34 left in regulation. Penguins lead 2-0 over Boston in Game 4. Left side, Wesley cranks one up. That'll be blocked. Coming right back to Bob Sweeney. He moves in and shoots it off the stick of Barrasso. Reached up with his stick up about chest high, and it bounced up into the seats. Taglianetti and Byers get involved in front of the net. The Bruins, of course, down 2-0, trying to battle back in this one. Of course, Game 5 will be played at Boston on Thursday night.
Wow, that was a case where Barrasso just seeing that puck at the last second, right at eyeball high, and he got his arms up. Glover a stick on that shot right in eye level and knocked it up into the stands. Got a good view there of what the goaltender sees of that puck coming out of traffic as it does. Tremendous reflexes from Tom Barrasso and vision. See that disc coming at him.
Joey Mullen of the Penguins is going to the locker room. Not sure what that is. lob him in. Joe Mullen, though, headed off. Joey Mullen has a goal here tonight for the Penguins, 5 in the playoffs. And here is Francis winning the faceoff again. Around to the near boards. It will come to Jennings. He scoots back behind his own net, the Penguin defenseman. Later on the right wing, Scott Young gets the puck over to Francis, but he couldn't clear. Bruins send it up left point to Bob Sweeney. Sweeney is hit by Scott Young. Now off the left side of Wesley. Shoots it towards the net, blocked by Jennings. And it comes to Scotty Young. Young moving up the left wing to Gillen. Gillen now shoots it in behind the Bruins net. And it comes around to the blue line. Stevens of Pittsburgh to Scott Young. Now to Francis. Right wing side. Francis fires it. And Moog never saw that one. It went wide. Left point. Roberts of the Penguins. Fakes a shot. Now moves in. Around Byers. Still has the puck down deep. Looking for somebody in front. It goes down to Francis. Broke it back for Stevens, who was up into by Bob Sweeney in front of that net. Sweeney's on Stevens, and they battle one another one-on-one in front of the Boston goal. And I think we're going to get penalties coming up here as Stevens is causing all kinds of problems for the Bruins in front of that net. He has just been a tireless worker in front there. And the whistle sounds. The net apparently came off the moorings, and they'll reset that, or did it? Well, he's going to send 2 people off. Bob Sweeney and Kevin Stevens, I think, will be going to the penalty box. Bob Sweeney may have gotten an assignment here on Stevens. I don't know. Andy Moog in there, trying to knock Stevens away from the net.
I think Sweeney had hold of Stevens' stick, and Stevens complaining that he was cross-checked to start that whole thing off. And now you see Andy Moog making an, who is that? Barrasso? That's Tom Barrasso making an adjustment on his blades. These skates are too sharp.
Roughing calls to Stevens of the Penguins and Bob Sweeney of the Boston Bruins. Both roughing calls. We talked to Paul Coffey, Snaggy. I don't know if you heard that conversation when we talked about it. He says it's going to be, the doctors tell him 3 more weeks before he can come back. So should the Penguins win this series, it would be late in the playoffs against the winner of the Edmonton, Minnesota. But I'd rather have him tell me 3 weeks, which means it might be a little sooner than that, than like a 6-week situation. And Koff was ready to play, so you have that funny feeling if we do get to the finals, if Pittsburgh should get there, he might very well see some ice time for the Pens. Outlet pass to Cam Neely. Neely moving to the Penguin line now. Stops inside the blue line. Feed it over to Burridge. Burridge trying to get around Larry Murphy, and he can't do it. Murphy whacks it back towards the Bruin goal. And Moog's going to set the table up now for Don Sweeney.
Penguins did not score in the 3rd period of Game 3, and they played a workmanlike game, just protecting the lead. They had a bigger lead in that game than they do in this one.
Cam Neely taken off his skates by Troy Loney, and off Samuelson trying to find room. Going around to Trottier with some open space now to Stanton. He cuts up on the play to the Bruins end. Sweeney slows him down, but Yager takes over. Ray Bourque reached in and picked his pocket. Ray Bourque moving around the boards, picked up by Loney, and his shot missed the net. Loney has 5 shots in this game already for the Penguins. Out to center will come to Randy Burridge, and Burridge hops to the Penguins end. Down the left wing. He got in behind the defense. He goes behind the net now, trying to center. Up with it was Ruzicka. Ruzicka couldn't put it in front of the goal.
Good work by Stanton to stay right with him and take him to the corner.
And Samuelson again dumps at the length of the ice. Over to touch it will be the Bruins defenseman Glenn Wesley. We'll return with 13:08 to go in the 3rd period. 2-0 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
All Giant Eagle stores are open for business and ready to serve you. At all Pittsburgh area Giant Eagle stores, you'll find Maxwell House coffee just $3.99 a 39-ounce can. Honeysuckle turkeys just 58 cents a pound. Save an extra $1 on both with in-ad coupons. Also, russet potatoes are just 98 cents a 10-pound bag. All Giant Eagle stores will accept any Giant Eagle, Foodland, or Shop and Save check cashing cards. For more information regarding any Giant Eagle, call toll-free 1-800-553-2324.
Paul Steigerwald, Mike Lang here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh with the Penguins have a 2-0 lead over the Boston Bruins. If the Penguins win here tonight, we know we'll play at least 6, and another home game will be at the arena on Saturday. They must win this game. And here's Joe Mullen returning, coming to the gate, headed towards the ice and back to the Penguin bench. They've opened it up before the face-off, so he'll head back on. I don't think the linesmen are aware here. Mullen's going to have to go back off. We'll have to wait for the next whistle. Gianni wins the draw to Christian. Shoots one. That's off Robert's stick and deflected up into the seats here.
And back comes Joey Mullen. Who had an equipment problem.
I wonder how the Badger responds to being called the professor by Mike Milbury.
Well, we call him the professor of hockey at the beginning of the year, so obviously we weren't the only ones to think of him in those terms.
Bruins again. Janney now in the Penguin zone, trying to force it over, knocked aside.
But a professor of goonism is not what anybody else would have ever called him, other than Milbury.
Alley going to Skriko, and now to Janney behind the net. The Bruins trying center, and off the near boards, Gary Galley has the puck. He is hit by Bob Airy, lost his stick. And Recchi of the Penguins unable to clear. Bruins keep the pressure on. They are down 2-0, and now on top of the puck will be Larry Murphy, and we get a stop in the action. The face-off to the right of Tom Barrasso. I thought it was interesting in the last game you talked about the fact that the Team USA in the Canada Cup will be coached by Bob Johnson, and you had heard rumors that Mike Milbury would be his assistant.
Well, they talked about that, and you get the impression now that that'll be the furthest thing from anybody's mind who's involved in running Team USA. But on the other hand, Mike, there are some coaches who've worked together for those other teams in the Canada Cup. I know for Team Canada, who probably would not consider themselves buddies during the regular season, fraternity of coaches, but they get together and work together when the Canada Cup rolls around.
He's trying to make a late change here, and I don't think McCreary's going to let him do it. You talking to McCreary, they'll have to drop the puck, so they'll stay out here with the same unit, same matchup. And right of Barrasso, Gillen wins another draw. I bet Gillen has won 90% of the faceoffs he's had tonight. He has been a strong part of the Penguins' success, and they lead 2-0, particularly in penalty killing. And Lemieux turns it ahead back to center. It comes to Randy Gillen. Gillen some fresh legs out there. He set out a couple of games. Recchi's up in it by Bob Sweeney, and play goes on. And Recchi got hit in the face. Back comes Sweeney in the Bruins. Down the left wing to Nyland. Nyland throw it back into the right wing corner of the Penguins in, and Galley goes in deep. The Bruins starting to send some people in now. Here's a pass off the play, and it comes to Recchi. Recchi right back to the Bruins in, trying to beat the defenseman. Cutting for the net. He shuffles it towards the net. Stop made. Rebound. They can't put it in. And also trying to play. Bob Sweeney whacks up one of the Penguins as he reached in. Now Recchi trying to get over here as Bob Sweeney was taking a shot here. And the Penguins on the far side. That was Bob Airy.
Recchi wants McCreary to be aware of the fact that Sweeney hit him in the face. Recchi took a long time to get up. He was coming back to the play when that puck came around the board, so he was in a great position to come racing in on looked like a breakaway for a moment, but Wesley was back, able to make the play on him. He still got 2 shots away on Andy Moog before tumbling to the ice.
We'll be back. 2-0 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
If you're never quite sure just when or where your food's going to show up, come to King's. At King's, you can count on lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it.
Because I'm a teeny bit late, your drinks are free.
Next time, make it King's.
Here's where Bob Sweeney took a shot at Mark Recchi coming down the boards. Ow, he got the butt end of his stick right in his face. McCreary couldn't really tell what happened to Recchi on that play because Sweeney was able to do it in a way that McCreary wouldn't be able to see it. He was shielded from it by Recchi himself.
And back to live action now in Penguin territory. And Don Sweeney of the Bruins going on top of the puck along with the Penguins Joey Mullen. That'll freeze it. Face-off will be to the right of the Penguin goal with 11:46 to go in the third period. All these games the Penguins and Bruins have played have been very long games. this one really not much of an exception with still almost 12 minutes to go in the third period. Christian at center ice with Duras and Marquardt. Randy Gillen wins another faceoff, and it pulled back behind the Penguin net to Grant Jennings. Jennings comes up, almost lost that puck for a moment. Does sail through to center where Jennings corrals it, and it comes left wing over to Nevin Marquardt. Marquardt is hit against the boards by Taglianetti. Lift the puck to the net, and it'll be Barrasso around to Jennings. Penguins unable to clear. Duras has the puck, feed it over now to the open man. A shot by Christian, scores! The Bruins make it 2-1. Dave Christian out of nowhere fires it home from the left wing circle, and the Boston Bruins are right back in this hockey game as Christian fired a shot that appeared to just sneak by Barrasso, who was screening the play, and the Bruins get a goal. Here they are.
Well, Grant Jennings just couldn't get that puck out. He was skating along with Christian on him, pushed it up the boards one-handed. Joey Mullen was unable to get to the puck. The defenseman pinching down the boards held it in, and the Bruins were able to work it over. Christian let that puck go in a hurry. A good wrist shot, and Barrasso was screened by one of the Bruins parked in front. I think he was asking McCreary about a guy interfering with him standing in the crease. That was Marquardt. He backed right into him. Marquardt standing right on top of Barrasso, and he couldn't make the save on the shot by Christian.
Well, Dave Christian scores at 8:38, and the Bruins are back within one. Christian is 8th of the playoffs. And here's the puck force back into Bruins territory. Pittsburgh 2 and the Bruins 1. And off the far wing, Ruzicka of Boston. Over the head back to center will come to Ray Bourque. Storm his way to the Penguins in on the left side. A shot blocked by the Penguins and Brian Trottier. Turns and tries to go the other way. He is turned around on the effort by Randy Burridge. Loney of Pittsburgh looks for it. Loney shoots it ahead of the Bruins zone. Andy Moog will stop it with a lot of time left here. 10:48 to go in the third period. The Bruins just simply clear back to center. Stanton over to Wolf Samuelson, and Samuelson crank it up back into the Bruins end. Ray Bourque stops it behind the net. Bruins captain. Long pass left wing to Ruzicka coming against Larry Murphy. Shoots it gloved by Barrasso. Deal it over to Troy Loney, and Loney simply clears it back to the center circle area. But the Bruins have it again, and here they come 4 men strong to the Penguins in. Larry Murphy and Cam Neely go in behind the Penguin net. Murphy watched Neely fall down. The Penguins race back through center, and a pass to Mario Lemieux. Going to the Bruins in, left wing to Bourque, cuts for the net. He shoots, and he missed the goal. Around the right side, he cannot hold it in, and it comes to Ruzicka. He'll skate quickly to the Penguins zone and force it over to the left wing corner as the Bruins go to a line change. And up with that puck will be Larry Murphy. Finding Bob Airy, and Airy had it taken away by Skriko. And then Janney moves into the Penguins in. Janney with a wrist shot. That's partially blocked by Gordy Roberts. Airy around the boards for Mark Recchi. And the wrecking ball takes it right up the glass, down to the ice, settles it down, skates to the Bruins in. Against Bob Beers, and Beers rides him hard away from that puck. Recchi gets right back into the action from behind the net. Turns, centers it, Lemieux. Hey! Shoots and scores! Mario Lemieux gives the Penguins a 3-1 lead. Go ahead, make my day. Mario Lemieux. What a play by Recchi. Beers almost put him through the boards, and he still bounced back on La Wrecking Ball. I mean, absolutely. That's vintage Wrecking Ball there, and he set up Lemieux for the Penguins' third goal.
And he was flying down the right wing. Inside, outside move. Beers took him to the corner, and in on the puck was Bob Airy. He moved it in front to Recchi. Recchi then went behind the net. Lemieux just playing possum again, this time on Wesley, just kind of hanging behind him. Yeah, you got me covered, no problem. And then he steps around him and just wraps that puck into the net on Andy Moog. What a play by Lemieux to sneak around in there in front of the net and find the back of the net to give the Penguins a 3-1 lead.
And Lemieux with his 9th of the playoffs. And Recchi, dazzling plays tonight by the Penguin right winger. At 10:23 gives the Penguins a 3-1 lead. And the Penguins again bury their opportunities. They put it in.
Lemieux with a couple of points here again tonight.
All right, Christian scored for the Bruins as 8th at 8:38, and Lemieux gets the Penguins on the board again at 10:23. His 9th from Recchi and Bob Airy. And here's Ray Bourque of the Bruins. Swing it down the right wing side into the Penguins in. And Barrasso. The Penguins get a big insurance goal back once again. And now lead 3-1. And ripped off the boards by Stevens. It carries back into Boston territory. Don Sweeney back, and we have an icing call here against the Pens. 9:10 to go in the third period. Pittsburgh 3, Boston 1. We'll be back in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
It's hometown flavor and the glitz and glamour of the big time as Syria Temple and Kogo's brings Circus Vegas to the Civic Arena May 31st through June 2nd. See high-flying acrobats, amazing trained animals, the funniest clowns, and tons of elephants. It's Syria Temple's Circus Vegas with affordable seats in the comfort of the Civic Arena. Get your tickets now at all choice seat locations or call 412-333-SEAT.
Rock and roll part 2 is rocking this building again, same as it does at the Met Center in Minneapolis. Mario Lemieux answering the goal by Dave Christian. Give the Penguins that 2-goal cushion again, 3-1. He went for a skate on this one. He was excited, Lemieux.
Andy Moog almost stopped that. He got a piece of it. So Christian and Lemieux exchange goals less than 2 minutes apart. The Penguins now lead 3-1 here in the third.
Must be an exhilarating feeling, Mike, to score a goal. That's going to be one of the great thrills there is in sports.
Here's Bork shooting the puck right to the net, and it's stopped, and rebound. Burridge put it up, and Barrasso comes diving out to grab it out of the atmosphere and hold on. It'll be like hitting a home run in the major leagues. It'll be the same way. Although you hit, you usually score a lot more goals. Well, not necessarily when you hit a home run. It's a big moment.
Particularly when you beat a goaltender who has stoned you, because you break through, and it's just that feeling of conquering someone.
The amazing part of this whole thing is that Andy Moog has been absolutely unbelievable in this series. He really has. And the Penguins still have him in a situation where he has a goals against average of almost 4.00. Think about that, folks. That's how strong this Penguin team is offensively. They are still getting their goals despite the fact that Moog has been stopping them. And they now lead 3-1. One of these nights, the Penguins are just going to absolutely explode. Here's Neely off the left side. He cuts for the Penguin net, trying to put it in front. Barrasso courted away, but not out. Look out. Here's Burridge shooting. He hit the post. Oh, my. The Bruins almost got their second goal right there. But Randy Burridge caught the pike. Now to the right wing boards of the Penguins end. Cam Neely will lead it up, and Samuelson trying to clear it away. You know what the Bruins are playing for right now. They want this game, but they are playing for Game 5 at the moment. And here's Ruzicka going to Bork. Shoots it. Save made. Rebound. Burridge can't put it in. Samuelson throwing up the boards, but not out. Shot by Wesley. And grabbed by Brian Trottier. It comes out of Scott Young. Big booming shot. Went right over the head of goaltender Andy Moore. Trottier off the near boards. Look to David back, and the Bruins will take it, and they come back on a 3-on-3. They'll shoot it away to the Penguin left wing side. Neely was hit by Loney, went off his skates, and Neely is in obvious pain right now. He just really is going on guts alone. Scott Young to the right wing comes in. His big shot again. Right over the glove hand of Andy Moog. And around behind the net, Don Sweeney with 8:05 to go in the third period. Still a lot of time left. Here come the Bruins again, working up to the Penguin net. And they're stopped by Barrasso, the Penguin goaltender. He curls it all the way to the Bruins into the surface, and it'll be an icing call against Penguin goaltender Tom Barrasso. 7:52 to go in the third period. Pittsburgh 3 and Boston 1. We're on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Sometimes we like to engage in intellectual pursuits. At night, you can observe our wildlife in its natural habitat.
Preserve the wildlife.
Penguins Brain Trust. That's Joe Meloche at the left, then John Welday, the Penguins strength and conditioning coach. He's getting a chuckle right now, and he gave everybody a chuckle today when he stepped on the ice in his Hulk Hogan outfit, just to kind of loosen the boys up a little bit with all the serious talk about goonism and the Bruins going to take the play to the Penguins physically. He went out there like he was the Penguins' new secret weapon, Vladimir. It was hilarious.
And Rick Kehoe and Craig Patrick are bringing people in on our television side. Watching on as the Penguins lead 3-1. And back to center ice, it'll be Mark Recchi. And Recchi shoots it down the boards into Boston territory. And this will be an icing call against Pittsburgh, and they'll bring it back. Mark Recchi with 2 more points tonight. He has 27 in the playoffs. And I think he has been an unbelievable player tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Mark Recchi. He has set up 2 goals with just absolute total determination. And on both plays, the defenseman seemed to have him out of the action, and he made the play both times back to, and eventually led to Mario Lemieux helping set up Bob Airey and scoring one also.
I asked Barry Peterson one time, I said, you know, I don't know who Recchi reminds me of. I guess we observers of hockey do that a lot of sports in general, comparing players and so on. And
that would be Paul Martha you just looked at on the TV side.
I really couldn't think of anybody that Recchi reminded me of. There's really no other player quite like him. And you know, Barry Peterson said he's like a little Mark Messier is what he said about him. That is a pretty good comparison.
And we're back to play again from the Penguins end. Craig Janney. Janney trying to move it over around Gordy Roberts. Can't do that. Lemieux has the puck, and he flips it ahead. Mario Lemieux can be a big difference in this series if the Penguins should win here tonight, and even into 2, going the rest of the way. With all the teams left, you would have to say that the marquee player, Lemieux, would be the #1 man. And here comes Ray Bourque. And Bourque would certainly fit that category also, but that is assuming that the Penguins were to move on, and the Penguins certainly have the best offensive player left of the lot. And the Bruins, I think you'd have to concede, have the best defensive man, Ray Bourque. And around the boards, it will come over to Lemieux. He'll poke it away through traffic. Lemieux was absolutely spectacular third period against the Bruins in game 3 defensively. He's going to come off the ice now, and it's worked back into the Bruins end. And Dave Christian of Boston to the left wing gets it over to Gary Galley, a pass behind the defense. Janney comes in on goal. Janney's little move, and he shoots at the post. Barrasso pulls it back behind him and holds on. Janney gave more moves than Mae West, but Barrasso got a piece of it after it hit the post and held on to it. Boy, Janney dazzling there.
This is what the Bruins wanted to do, was get some more flow going up ice with the Samuelson stepping up on the play, and he didn't make the play, and the puck came in behind where Janney could pick it up. He walked in, and he's got a lot of moves, Janney, but he got himself in a little too deep, and he put it off the post. Barrasso stayed with him, and he just didn't pull the trigger. And that puck came off Barrasso. Unfortunately, rather than going back into the net, it came back to a place where he could pull it in with that stick.
Tommy going right with him. Diving to his right, and Janney tried to slip it in behind him, but he couldn't do it as Big Ben struck one. And the Bruins hit the pipe.
Bounces here. The Barrasso masks are in force here at the building tonight.
Is that the one tonight?
That's the one tonight.
I'm waiting for a picture of you. We got another home game if we win here. Come out and do the Steigerwald stomp. Around to the near corner of the Penguins in, and Ronnie Francis relays it ahead back to center. Will you make a song up if they do that? The Steigerwald stomp?
I'd be happy to.
Bob Sweeney right in behind the Bruins goal.
You got to sing it with me.
Oh, I can do that. I have no problem with that. Gary Galley.
Maybe they let you have to play some trumpet on there too. Cornet.
And down the length of the ice of the Penguins zone, we have an icing call. And they'll bring it back. I'm good at the rug board. I'm good. I could probably play a little clarinet if I had to get it out again, but I'd have to have it written and very slowly done. And I'm mean with a rug board. Very mean with the blues and the rug board, believe me.
Well, they were playing Tom Barrasso's song a minute ago when that puck went off the post. I think that's a great expression. That's what Jerry Cheevers used to say when the puck went off the post. We're playing my song.
Francis Bruins in against Neely. 6:06 to go in the third. Penguins 3, Bruins 1. And Glenn Wesley of Boston off the glass and again out of action.
This third period, the tempo has been more to the Bruins' liking, I think. Seems like when things have slowed down to practically a crawl is when they've suddenly had their best scoring chances.
I'm going to throw this thought at you, and I don't know why, but I'm thinking about Game 5 in Boston. Do you think Badger Bob Johnson might go with Frank Pietrangelo in the net just for a change?
I thought about it just because of what happened in the first two games. But on the other hand, Tom Barrasso has gotten them this far, and you know that he wants to play. So
yeah, I just put that thought out there because it seems that when Tommy had a little rest, came back very strong, and I just wondered if that much play and whether we had a thought on that. I'm not saying Tommy's, I mean, he played well enough against the Bruins over the years. Shot on the left side by Neely, and that's not by Barrasso. But just a thought as we get ready for Game 5. Right now, we've still got to finish Game 4. The Penguins lead here against the Bruins 3-1. 5:34 left in regulation on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Shop the appliance store and save on Panasonic camcorders. This compact VHS lightweight features a flying erase head and high-speed shutter. Or choose this new palmcorder with full-range digital focus. This palmcorder features a power zoom lens that lets you close in on the action. And the exciting Panasonic switch hitter works right or left-handed and is loaded with high-tech features. And they start as low as $7.99 at the appliance store, where courteous service and customer satisfaction come first.
All the Bruins have called timeout, and Mike Milbury again doing a little bit of an irregular talk. As I presented that question to you about the Penguins possibly maybe thinking about putting Peter Angelo in as a game, I give you that same premise to the Boston Bruins with Andy Moog, despite the fact he's played really well. Would they go to Lemon, who played well in the third period? He's had a period of rest, and the way he's played tonight, it'll be hard to believe, but it's a possibility. You know, Mike Milbury, if they lose tonight, they've lost 2 straight, maybe looking for a little change himself.
Sometimes just a change can make a difference. How it affects the players in front of the goaltender, too. And the Bruins, have been outshot pretty badly throughout this series. Penguins with 33 shots, 34 shots, 33 shots, and now they've got 33 again. They're really peppering Andy Moog.
Yeah, but the Bruins have played well in this third period. They've outshot the Penguins 12-3, as I thought they might. They're trying to set a tone going back if they should lose this one.
And the Penguins in that mode of protecting a lead again. And as I said earlier in the period, it was a little different situation than the other night where they had a commanding lead in the hockey game when they went to the third period.
Well, this one again has a lot of time left in it. Let's see if Bourque can win the face-off against Brian Trottier. Face-off to the right of Tom Barrasso. Looking for some magic of the Bruins, and Ray Bourque shoots it right to the net. That stop made the rebound. Genie can't get there. It comes to Ray Bourque, and he'll flip it towards the goal, and Barrasso cleared it away. Ray Bourque put it back in front. Cam Neely shooting on the backhand miss. Ruzicka fires. Stopped by Barrasso, and he holds it out of there. Oh, the Bruins throwing everything in the kitchen sink, and they're coming on strong right now.
Bob Johnson is going with this line a lot here in the third period, and believe me, they've had their problems when they've been on the ice. This is when the Bruins have had their best chances, when Brian Trottier's line has been out here, presumably for defensive purposes, but the Bruins seem to be taking advantage of it with the matchup right now. They're top guns out here against these guys.
Barrasso quarterback up the board, but the Bruins put it right back in front, and Cam Neely came that close to scoring goal number 2, and Ruzicka did the same thing. Barrasso hold him out. The shots are now 33-29. The Bruins in this period have had 14 shots. And Samuelson tried to work it out of his own end. We are approaching the 5-minute mark. Time left in the third period. With that goal by Mario Lemieux, a huge goal by the Penguins, giving them some insurance.
The Penguins' best hockey against Boston in this playoff series has definitely been when they've been on the attack, when they've been going after the Boston Bruins. Right now, and for most of this third period, they have not been in that mode. As soon as the Bruins got back into the game, they came right back with the top guns, and those guys just took control again as Lemieux went out and scored the goal.
Well, you don't get 100 points from not being a good hockey club, and the Bruins, we know, are certainly that. And here's Loney down the right wing, coming back for the Penguins on a 3-on-1. It develops. Loney right side as a man. Trottier going to the net. Loney shoots, and he hit the side of the goal. Trottier after a near corner. Couldn't get it to anybody, and Ray Bourque delivers it back to center to Craig Janney. Janney moving to the Penguins end, dropped it right to the stick of Phil Bourque of Pittsburgh, and he'll lay it back into the Bruins end. Ray Bourque returns. Icing called against the Penguins. They ruled that Bourque could not have played that puck. Ray Bourque, across the line.
We've been thinking about Game 5, and you were talking about how the Bruins are setting a tone. I'm not so sure that Bob Johnson isn't trying to get the most he can out of his bench right now so that he has some fresh people going to that next game in Boston too, because he's going to need them.
But if it were 4-1, I might be a little believer in that. But it's 3-1, and the Bruins, a goal like that, bang, you're right back in this game, boy. And I think you got to play your best here. You got to try anyway. You can't be thinking about game 5 too much. You got to win game 4 to stay really alive in the series. And Bob Sweeney losing the draw. No team since 1984 has lost the first 2 games of a conference championship and come back and won. The last time it happened, the New York Islanders lost 2 to the Montreal Canadiens in '84 and came back and won 4 straight. Here is Bob Sweeney coming up, and Phil Bourque knocked him down. The puck rolls back into the Bruins zone. Don Sweeney with 4:25 to go.
Bourque's a key player in this situation for the Penguins.
Oh, and he has played well. And here comes the center to Dave Christian. Christian lost the puck to Loney. Loney off the boards, leaves it at center. The Bruins wait for people to get onside before they can go in. Now they dump it in, and they race in to get it again. But Larry Murphy's going to be the first man back. Murphy around the glass and out of play again. Up into the seats. And I'll guarantee you, with 4:07 to go, there is not a soul in this arena that's left, Paul. That's how they feel. They can feel the tenseness in the game right now. And a playoff game is like that, more so than the regular season, much more so. Because you know the confidence builds with every goal, every magical moment of it. And if you score a goal, all of a sudden you maybe just have total control of the game for a short period of time.
And when the opposition scores, it takes a little bit of the air out of that balloon. And everybody's on edge.
One of the big problems teams have against the Penguins in this situation is if they decide to pull their goaltender, even with a 2-goal disadvantage, the Penguins have so many big guns that can finish plays for the empty netter, and that really hurts your cause. And that's where the Penguins are very strong in that department. They can score on the empty net.
Now Francis and Mullen will step on for the Pens.
And Ray Bourque again seen a lot of time here in face-offs with the Bruins, especially in the third period. He lost it to Randy Gillen. And it comes behind the net to Wolf Samuelson. Penguin defenseman. Move it through to the left wing, and it comes through to the left side of Gillen. He moves into the zone. Mullen shoots, and a stick save made by Moog. Gillen will get it back off to the near wing to Ron Francis. Bruins have been sending those people in, especially Bourque, who's been hanging in tough around that goal in an effort to get one to make it 3-2. So they've been trapped a couple of times. Genie cruising back to the Penguins end. Wheeling wide of the net, and back defensively will be Ron Francis. He certainly has had a big, strong game for the Penguins. Shooting off the wood, and it comes to Kevin Stevens. Back with a man trying to play it. Stanton on 2-on-1. Stanton taking the pass. Stanton has it. His wrist shot missed the goal. And the Bruins are just as are saying here, go ahead. You're gonna have some opportunities, but we're gonna come back and try and get a goal here. We're sending people in deep.
Yeah, Bourque got trapped that time on the boards, pinching in.
3:22 to go in the third period. Mario Lemieux, don't give him that chance 2-on-1. I'll tell you that. And back it goes to center, Randy Burridge. Burridge delivers it over to Don Sweeney, and Sweeney of the Bruins with 3:08 left in the third period. Gave it away to Bob Arian. He simply throws it up the sideboards, but this will be an icing call. Lemieux was hit back in the Penguins end, apparently. And an icing call here against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Lemieux down on the ice.
Lyndon Byers took a shot at Mario Lemieux, I believe.
And now Gordy Roberts and Nyland get involved. Nyland coming after him, and now Nyland's trying to whack away at anything that moves. He's after Mark Recchi. Nyland's involved with Mark Recchi. Grabbed him.
I saw Lyndon Byers step on the ice. I saw Mario Lemieux pointing, and I don't know if he was pointing at Byers or what the story was. And I kept watching, and I don't remember anybody hitting Lemieux after he pointed.
Recchi trying to get at Nyland now, knowing that he's going to be in the penalty box anyway.
When Lemieux went down, Mike, it looked like nobody was around him. It's almost like it was a delayed reaction.
So Lemieux will get himself up. 17:01 will be the time of the penalties. Nyland has already gone to the locker room. Mark Recchi will also see some penalty time. I'm sure of that. Nyland came out swinging at anything that moved. Lemieux is headed off the ice right now.
Well, the term Mike Milbury used was cheap shots yesterday in his press conference, referring primarily to Wolf Samuelson. You had a feeling that in this game somebody might try to hurt one or two of the Penguins' top guns. If the Bruins felt they weren't in a position to win the game any longer. Here they are, 3-1. Lemieux was on the bench for quite some time. He steps out here, and immediately he has to go to the locker room, and I don't know what exactly happened to him, but 34 is on the ice, Lyndon Byers, and he's not out there to win the game for the Bruins, believe me.
Fact is, we don't know what happened, so let's don't speculate until we really find out, because we do not know what really actually. Recky's going to get a 5-minute major for fighting. Nyland gets 5 for fighting and 2 minor penalties. 1 for instigating the fight and another one for something. I don't know. Slashing.
He may have slashed Lemieux.
The truth of the matter is, well, I don't know, because I didn't see it, and I think that was Nyland if he did. And now Loney, and now we've got some punches being thrown here by Byers and Kevin Stevens towards one another. The Bruins are effectively, if Stevens goes, get the 3 top Penguin scorers off the ice. They got Lemieux and Recchi off. Now Galley and Gordy Roberts have heated words. Byers is gone. He's going off.
He's going back to Florida.
McCurry will make a call here against Lyndon Byers of the Boston Bruins. Here we go. And he receives a 10-minute misconduct. Pittsburgh leading this hockey game 3-1 with 2 minutes and 59 seconds to go in regulation. And again, Mario Lemieux off to the Penguin locker room, and right behind him was Mark Recchi. And Chris Nyland has gone to the Bruins locker room.
The assistant coach of the Boston Bruins is Ted Sater, and Bob Johnson went out of his way today in his press conference to say that he's disappointed in Ted Sater for being involved in the tactics that the Bruins took between games. But Ted Sater's not the head coach, he's just the assistant.
Well, as it shapes up right now, the Penguins will have a power play the rest of the game, and they lead 3-1. Let's see what power play unit they'll put out here. It'll be Francis in all probability, with Mullen and Stevens, and Larry Murphy and Phil Bourque will be the point men. Bruins will have to put somebody in the penalty box right now. And Petri Skriko goes over to serve the minor penalties to Chris Nyland. So Pittsburgh will effectively work the rest of the game with a power play here. And on the night, the Penguins have not fared well against the Bruin penalty killers, and despite the loss of Dave Poulin, Boston has effectively shut down the Penguins power play.
Louis Kravanja of Library, Pennsylvania is our contestant on the Ironman Advantage contest.
And the faceoff brought back into Penguin territory to the right of Tom Barrasso. And Jeff Lazaro and Nevin Marquardt penalty killing for the Bruins. And Bob Beers will be on the backside with Alan Peterson. So Ray Bourque gets a rest. Looking at Ray Bourque, he's all the way down to the end of the bench. I thought he might have put him by himself. Kevin Stevens removed some tape, put it in the walkway. That's the Penguin walkway there. Lemieux, I think, will just stay off now the rest of the game here, it looks like. And this face-off controlled by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they come up on the play from their own zone. Phil Bourque getting the puck over to Larry Murphy, and Murphy shoots it long and high to the Bruin net. Hogue will stop it. And around to the left wing boards, it will come over to Phil Bourque. Now to Joey Mullen. Mullen put it in the corner to Ron Francis. Now to Stevens. Shoots, scores! Kevin Stevens beats Bourque on the short side. And ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building. Penguins 4, the Bruins 1. Kevin Stevens gets the goal.
Stevens has had a couple of opportunities like that where he's shot the puck to the far side. One time he hit the post, another time he missed the net. This time he went back to the short side and found it between Andy Moog and that left post.
Stevens with his 11th playoff goal. And that should wrap it up, and the Penguins will move on to Game 5 at the Boston Garden with a series tied at 2 games apiece. Boy, Ronnie Francis with another setup there. Two minutes and 38 seconds to go. Joe Mullen also an assist, so the Penguins finally get on the scoreboard on the power play. They're now 1 for 6, and Nyland has that second penalty to serve, or be served. And the Penguins have a second crack at it. Their 7th power play chance. They're 1 for 6 tonight. You just had that feeling again that the Penguin power play was going to come to life sooner or later, and going into Game 5, it could be a big advantage for the Penguins if they can cash in on the power play on the road. They'll have to, I believe, to win. Stevens to the right wing, beyond the reach of Phil Bourque. He'll move in deep to the Bruins, in around to the left wing corner over to Joe Mullen. Now back to Kevin Stevens. Stevens, wheel and deal. From behind the net, go into Bourque. Phil Bourque stepped out, and he can't make a play. Bruins keep Ray Bourque again on that bench. Up the left wing, it goes to Peter Duras. Short-handed to the Penguins' end. Duras put it in front. Barrasso pokes it away. Now to Phil Bourque. And here come the Penguins hurrying back. Joe Mullen looks over both shoulders, drop it up to Stevens, comes right down the slot, goes to Murphy, and he didn't expect that pass. Stevens probably should have shot it. Francis on the right side. What a game he's played tonight. Dump it in behind the net. It will go to Stevens, and behind the goal to Joe Mullen. Mullen trying to pull it in one motion around Beers. Unable to do that, but here is Gordy Roberts. Throwing the puck to the near corner. Bob Beers. His father hails from this area, and of course Bobby also, but with that puck. Seen some action for the first time in this series, and he shoots it off the sideboards and back to center. A minute and a half to go in this third period. Penguins 4, the Bruins 1. Jaromir Jagr again on the attack, going to Scotty Young to the Bruins zone. Down the left wing to Brian Trottier. Back to Roberts, man open right side. Here's Murphy. Will he shoot it? No. And now he holds it, wristed. That's off the glove of Andy Moog, and he caught that. And here are the Penguins again. They have scored 4 times again on Andy Moog. Gordy Roberts and Jeff Lazaro stare at one another. And Moog has played terrific hockey. He really has. And the Penguins still have reached that 4 plateau. Lazaro and Roberts continue to jaw with one another. The Penguins were down 2-0 in this series and now have bounced back to tie it. And it's a best-of-3 series with the Penguins having to win 1 game at the Boston Garden, at least, to win the series. And here from the face-off, Nevin Marquardt has it. Blasted all the way to the Penguin goal, and Barrasso will set it up for Paul Stanton. We approach 1 minute to go in the third period. And here is Stanton shooting the puck ahead of the Bruins right wing corner. Sweeney's back to get into cleared by Stanton with 15 seconds to go in the Nyland penalty. And these two clubs have battled once again in game number 4. And Pittsburgh this time will be victorious, and they'll go back to Boston for game 5. All knotted up. Scott Young to the Bruins zone, left side. Comes down, feeding in front of Jagr, and he pulled the trigger and missed the net. Scotty Young off the near corner again. Couldn't feed it over to Trottier. The Bruins hop right back on a 3-on-3. On the right wing, Skriko moving to the Penguins end. Left wing drop pass over to Galley in his shot. Denied by Barrasso's blocking glove. Picked up by Skriko. He centers. The Penguins take it away. And Trottier coming up. Jagr is hit from behind by Marquardt. Now play goes on. Here's a shot by the Penguins. Scott Young, he has it again from behind the net. Stop save. Rebound. He can't put it in. Andy Moog stopping him 3 times. Around to the near corner. Brian Trottier. Trottier with 6 seconds to go in the third. Marquardt and Jagr, and Marquardt working over Jagr pretty good. In the corner as the game ends, and Marquardt now punches Jagr one more time. Nevin Marquardt just worked over Jagr all the way up the ice, and now Burries takes a shot at him. And now here's a fight between Jennings at the end of the game and one of the Bruins. Is it Marquardt? They have squared off. They get Jagr away from there. Barrasso's getting out of here. Andy Moog's over in the corner. He wants a piece of somebody. Marquardt and Jennings start to square off. And now is it Taglianetti and also for the Penguins. And I think they'll cool down. There aren't any punches being thrown right now. Taglianetti trying to get his arms free, and he has him wrapped around big Alan Peterson. It all started with Jagr coming on ice and Marquardt banging away at him, and they kept it going. And at the end of the game, everybody got involved. And it'll not be an easy series. They're going back to Boston, and it's getting more physical game by game. That's it. They cooled down. They'll get the Bruins off first. The Penguin players on the ice go off here. With the final final score tonight. The Penguins prevail over the Bruins as they did in Game 3 in the final score once again. Pittsburgh 4 and the Bruins 1 here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
All Giant Eagle stores are open for business and ready to serve you. At all Pittsburgh area Giant Eagle stores, save $1 on Maxwell House coffee, just $2.99 a 39-ounce can with in-ad coupon. Honeysuckle turkeys are just 58 cents a pound, and 10-pound bags of russet potatoes are just 98 cents each. All Giant Eagle stores will accept any Giant Eagle, Foodland, or Shop and Save check cashing cards. For more information regarding any Giant Eagle, call toll-free 1-800-553-2324.
Relive the Penguins' dramatic rise to the Patrick Division title. Now on sale, the Penguins 90-91 highlight video. High-speed action, interviews, and an inside look at the Pens. Mail orders only. Send $19.95 plus $3 handling to Penguins Highlights. The Penguins Pro Shop. The Civic Arena, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15219.
It'll be a 2-hour wait.
If you're tired of wasting a lot of time and spending a lot of money, it's time you came to King's. At King's, you get lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it.
Your check, sir. Your tie, sir.
Next time, make it King's.
Hi, I'm Jim Rooker. And I'm Bill Landrum. We're inviting you to be a part of the Pirate Family Fun Run Saturday morning, May 11th at Three Rivers Stadium.
Enjoy the tailgate party, prizes, refreshments, and a free ticket to the ball game. Be a part of the Pirate Family Fun Run and support the Epilepsy Foundation of Western Pennsylvania.
Please call 261-5880 or pick up an application at your local Farm More.
Our Iron Man of the game for tonight's contest between the Penguins and Bruins would be Mark Recchi. The Penguins, who had 2 assists on the night and really played some outstanding hockey for Pittsburgh this evening. This was the play by Recchi on the TV side against Bob Beers, who had slammed him into the boards and then went in behind the net, still digging, working, found Lemieux in front. And Lemieux turned it in for the Penguins' 3rd goal. And it turned out to be a big insurance goal. Stevens added another one, and the Penguins went on to win it by the score of 4-1. So Mark Recchi, our Iron Man of the game, our congratulations to him. Penguins have held the opponents to a goal in 6 of the 10 playoff wins that they've had. Penguins holding the Bruins scoreless again on the power play, including 4 chances tonight. Recchi, Lemieux, and Stevens all extend their scoring streaks tonight. Recchi to 12, Lemieux to 11, and Stevens now to 9 games in a row that he has scored in as the Penguins win it. The Pens outshoot Boston again. The 3 stars here tonight. The number 3 star went to Ron Francis of the Penguins. The number 2 star to Mario Lemieux, and the number 1 star went to Tom Barrasso of the Pens. But certainly somewhere you'd have to figure Mark Recchi. We rated him much higher than people did that selected it here on the game that he had. Shots in the final period, the Penguins with 8, the Bruins with 15. And I'm sure the Bruins will look at that stat and say, hey, we took the game to them in the 3rd period as they return home for Game 5 coming up on Thursday in an effort to try and regain some momentum in the series. But tonight the Penguins prevail, and they even the series at 2 games apiece. It's now a best-of-3 series with game number 5 on Thursday night from the Garden in Boston. And our broadcast time on our Penguin Radio Network will begin at 7:20 on the TV side on the KBL Sports Network. We'll have the game for you at 7:30. If you're staying with us on the radio side, the post game's coming up. And if you're leaving us here on the TV side, we'll see you on Thursday. 16,164 sellout crowd here tonight to watch the Penguins and the Bruins in Game 4 this series. The Penguins win their 2nd game, and the series now even at 2 games apiece. Now for Paul Steigerwald, this is Mike Lang saying so long from Pittsburgh here on the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network.
Pittsburgh Penguin Hockey was brought to you by King's Family Restaurants,
For lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it. Next time, make it King. By the Appliance Store, the Tri-State's name brand headquarters, where customer satisfaction is always our first concern. By Mellon Bank. Join thousands of other smart people and sign up for the Smart Account today. See why the smart money is coming to Mellon. By Giant Eagle, where there's a lot you can feel good about. By the Discover Card. It pays to discover the card that pays you back. By IC Life. Preserve the wildlife with IC Life. By Intensive Treatment from Head and Shoulders. Tough on persistent dandruff without medicated hair. And by KDKA TV. For all your Stanley Cup highlights and scores, catch Eyewitness News tonight at 11. The executive producer of Penguin Hockey is Bill Strong. This game has been produced and directed by Doug Kennedy. Remote facilities arranged by Unitel Mobile Video. This has been a CAC Sports presentation.
But the #1 sports story of the night is the Penguins game tonight. They did a great job.
Talk about not academic, but athletic achievements on the ice tonight, John. Wow.
Yeah, the Penguins dominated the Bruins for most of this 4-1 victory. The update on Mario Lemieux, he left in the last 3 minutes with a hand injury. Chris Nyland slashed him on the wrist. Mario told me in the locker room that he is okay. Don't worry about it. He's going to be playing in Game 5. That is great news. Was there goonery in this game? Well, besides Nyland's slash, wasn't much at all. It didn't live up to its pregame billing, according to Coach Mike Milbury. Mario entered the fray early with a key play. 8:49 into the first period, Mario goes to work. He controls the puck on the side of the net, and he's going to pass it right across the crease to Bob Airy, who gets the easy goal thanks to Mario. It was 1-0 Pens. Tom Barrasso had to come up big in the first. He faced 11 shots in the period. He stops Bob Sweeney on the 2-on-1 here. Barrasso was sensational all night, saved the Pens in the third period. The Penguins dominated the second period. They peppered Andy Moog. And with 8 minutes left in the period, Ron Francis feeds out front to Joey Mullen, who bangs it home, made it 2-0 Pens. Early in the third, Barrasso had to come up big. The Bruins with a furious rally in the third period, but Barrasso was superb. 9 minutes into the third, the Bruins did get to Barrasso for their only goal of the night. That was Dave Christian, but a couple of minutes later, it's Mario to the rescue. He puts the Bruins away with his 9th goal of the playoffs, made it 3-1. The rest was up to Barrasso. He was awesome. After Chris Nyland took out Mario, you see him leaving the game right there. The Penguins went in a power play for the rest of the game, and Kevin Stevens scored his 11th goal of the playoffs to make the final 4-1, except for a few moments in the third period when Barrasso had to come up big. This game was total domination by the Penguins.
We really wanted this win. It was a good effort. The Bruins came out pretty hard. They played a good first period. That's the best they've probably skated, and since we played them, I thought they came out and they really wanted the game early. But we had a couple goals there, and it kind of took it away from us. So our team played well, and now it's best of 3. We're going to the Garden. We got to take one there.
Yeah, we played well tonight again, and and when we had our breakdowns time, it came up big again, and that's what we need. And we kind of lost our concentration in the third period a few times, but we got the victory, and now we're going to, it's best of 3 now.
I haven't had to contribute a lot in this series because of, we've played really well up front, and a lot of the goals they've got have been through breakdowns in our zone. I haven't been seeing the puck that much, but it was a nice feeling tonight to be able to contribute when it was asked of me.
Game 5 is in Boston Thursday night. There will be a Game 6 here at the Civic Arena Saturday. West Coast. All right, Game 5 is in Boston. That's where I will be heading Thursday. The Penguins definitely have the momentum in this series, and there's no question that they outplayed the Bruins the last 2 games, and probably the last 3 games, if you count the game that was taken away from them by some pretty questionable calls in Boston Garden.
Tell you what, after tonight, I feel like they can do it.
There's no question they can.
Gotta believe, John.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Well, if you were at tonight's Penguins game and thought you saw Elvis Presley in the crowd, no, you're not crazy. 27-year-old Scott Luff of Ross Township loves pumping fans up at all the hockey games with his Elvis impersonation. Scott, a true blonde, actually dyes his hair black for the act. Well, that's our show at 11 o'clock tonight. Thanks for being with us.
Good night, everyone.